Hello, lovely flute players. So this is your third lesson. In lesson 3, we're going to be learning some new things, including some new notes on our flute, and you're also going to get the directions to this week's Flipgrid, so you know how to do that correctly. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our fake flute. We should be really good at this already. We're going to put it right in the crook of our chin, and we're going to be saying, do it with me. Here we go. One more time. Now this time we're going to think about where our tongue is. Our tongue should start right there, and it's just going to go, it's kind of move down and kind of back. So we're starting each note with that tongue in that place. It starts there and it moves, and then our air keeps going. So this time with our fake flute, we're going to do, here we go, down, up, ready, do it with me. Do it again. Now we're going to do it 2 times in a row. Do it again. Beautiful. Every time we start a note, that's where our tongue should be. All right, so we're going to take our head joints, lovely people, and we are going to make sure that, number 1, this is parallel to the floor. I'm actually going to take this hand and move it around the back side of my flute. This hand's here. And I want to double check that my embouchure hole is lined directly up with my nose, the tip of my nose. And my embouchure hole, the back part of that right there, should be lined up kind of with my lip. And there are a couple of you that need it a little bit higher, but most of you, it's going to be right there. And you can, notice you can see in the video, you can see a little bit of the embouchure hole right there. Let's see if I can point to it. That's because it's directly pointed up at the ceiling. If yours is rolled in like this, you're not going to be able to get the right note, and you might not even be able to make a sound. So you want to make sure that it's pointed directly up at the sky. You want to make sure it's not rolled out, because we won't get a sound either. So double check that. All right, so go ahead, try to make a sound with me. Here we go. We're going to try that again. I'm going to put my metronome on. Here we go. Metronome on. All right. So I'm going to go first and then you go. We're going to start each note with our tongue in that one spot. Here we go. Down, up, ready. I go first. Adjust your flute if you need to. Roll in or out if you need to get it in the right spot. Very nice. Now when I talk about being in the right spot, a way that you can double check is you can check with your tuner. And we've linked that. We linked that last week to your video assignment. And this week we have as well. And I'm actually, it's going to be easier for me to just hold up to the screen. So here is my lovely Smart Music tuner. If you can see right at the top right here. I can't move the mouse and I'm going the wrong way, guys. No, it won't work. It's actually set up. Here, I'm going to turn this for a second. Apparently I can't do things that. It's set up to flute. So you have an instrument choice and a pull-down menu right there. Make sure you guys select flute. And when I'm playing just on my head joint, if it's in the right place, I should see in this little circle right here, an A should light up. And my A, I want it to be on this side. I don't want it on the green. You'll hear me talking about some instruments like clarinet, alto, saxophone, they want to get theirs right in the green. We actually want it a little bit over here. A little bit over here in this yellow part to the left, not to the right, to the left, where there's that flat sign. All right, so I'm going to do my A. Normally I wouldn't hold a laptop and my flute, but watch when I play with my tuner. So you can see how when I adjust here, it changes. So at first it was right in the green, which is okay, but I wanted to get it to this side, so I actually had to adjust. So I'm going to make sure it's in the right spot this time. Beautiful, because before I was rolled in too much, so watch the difference. I actually get an A flat there. So having your tuner is going to help you know where this is, and we want to get eventually so we can just pick up our head joint. We get it right in that yellow spot on A every time. So practicing with that tuner is really helpful, and that counts towards your practice time. All right, so that's something you can do on your own without this video. So be hitting an A, and it's going to be to that side where it's a little bit flat. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to say hot dog, your favorite word. Here we go. With a lot of energy, you're going to wake up your whole house. They're going to be wondering why you're yelling hot dog at them. Here we go. Ready, go. Hot dog. Do it again. Hot dog. Hot dogs are delicious. Hot dog. Beautiful. Now take your fake flute. We're going to hot dog with your fake flute. Here we go. Ready and go. Hot dog. Why am I saying this, Miss Ramsey? Hot dog. Beautiful. Now we're going to move our air like it's hot dog. So it's going to be like this. And do you hear how I have that T because my tongue is behind my teeth? And it's moving down and away. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Do it again. Fast air. One more time. Beautiful. Take your lovely head joint. Make sure it's lined up. Find that spot. Okay, see how you can still see a little bit of the embouchure hold? That is correct. Rolled in too much, I won't get the right note with my tuner either. So here we go. Got it in the right spot. Parallel to the floor. Bring my arm around. Here we go. Hot dog. Ready. Here we go. Super fast air. Ready and go. Ready and go. Awesome. So that's something you can also practice. Once you do it with your tuning at A, then try doing hot dog. Hot dog's always fun, and they're delicious. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to be using, I'm losing all of my papers today. I keep using them in different places. We're going to do a little bit of head joint happiness. You do not need to have this out. I'm just going to be referencing. You're just going to copy exactly what I do. So we're going to start off open. Eventually, I'll end up closing right there. Start out open, and sometimes I'll do a whole note. Sometimes I'll do 2 half notes. So you're going to going ta, ta. Sometimes I'll do 4 quarter notes. Ta, 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 ta. Not ta, 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 ta. Your air goes ta, 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 ta. Your air moves 4 beats, and your tongue's just interrupting it. All right, here we go. Head joint happiness. Check that this is in the right spot first. And if you need to, if it's not, you need to pause the video and get in the right spot. Go for it. You can pause this. It's a great thing about technology. All right, I'm going to play, and then you imitate each time. So it'll be me first, then you. Down, up, ready, set. Here I go. Very nice. And you can rewind this and do head joint happiness again with me, or you can even try it on your own. We did just the first numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have not learned how to do those upper notes yet, so we'll get to those eventually. And when we have those 4 quarter notes, we're not going. And a good way to check that is you guys have a pinwheel at home. You can grab that pinwheel, and if I have my pinwheel to the side, sometimes you gotta smush it because the pinwheels, they're kind of cheap, to be honest, and sometimes they need a little zhuzhing to work. Your air should move for 4 beats, and your tongue just interrupts. So I should be going. I shouldn't have. Do you guys see the difference? So if your quarter notes don't really sound like mine, grab your pinwheel. Make sure your air's moving for those 4 beats. Your tongue's just interrupting it, not. Your air can move, and your tongue's just kind of tapping it. Okay, let's try. How are we doing on time? Let's do head joint happiness one more time. Okay, here we go. I go first, and then you go. Get this in the right spot. If you need to adjust, please do. Remember, you can pause the video, get in the right spot. Here we go. Down, up, ready. I go first. Remember, hot dog, fast air. 2 notes. This time 4 notes. Very nice. Nice. Awesome. All right. Now what we are going to do is we are going to take our flute and we're going to put it together. And we should already be pretty good at this. So on our lovely head joint and body, we have our marking. We have got our red mark, and we twist that together so it lines up. And then we want to make sure we can still see just a little bit of that black mark. And then our foot joint also has a red mark, and that's going to line up right there, and it's all perfect and ready to go. All right, so what we're going to do, just like last time, is you're going to grab your flute right in the middle, and where I'm grabbing it actually right where that red mark is, which should be pointing that way, right? I can't see it on the camera because it's pointing towards my shoulder. So I'm going to hold my flute right there, okay? We're going to hold our other hand here so we can balance it. Again, we want to try to make it as parallel as we can. Make sure this is in the right spot, lined up with your nose pointed straight up at the ceiling. Okay, we're going to try making a sound. Here we go. Ready, go. Good. Try that again. 1 and 2 with me. Here we go. If you need to pause this to kind of get this set up, that's okay. If we do this for a long time, it can kind of hurt our arms a little bit. Eventually we'll be nice and strong and we'll be able to do it because we'll get used to it. All right, so make sure this is in the right spot. We're holding here and here. Okay, nowhere else on the rest of your flute. All right, get it in the right spot. Make sure this is lined up with your nose. I can see a little bit of the hole, just a little bit. We're not rolled out, we're not rolled in. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to play for 4 beats, and then you play for 4 beats. So I'm going to go first. Down, up, ready, set. Here I go. Your turn. You can do 4 quarter notes this time. Very nice. All right, and if you want to rewind that part of that video, that's great. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tip my camera down. I'm going to be sitting in my chair. We should be pros at holding it because hopefully we did some TV practice in the last week. So remember, when we are holding our flutes, we're always going to have it on our right leg because our flute's going to come up over our right leg. We don't want to have it on our left leg, so we have to bring it over. So it's going to be right on our right leg. We have our left hand on top. Your thumb on the back of your flute has a little blue dot, and you're going to put your thumb there, but your thumb is actually touching both of those keys at the same time. So it's on the blue dot, but you'll see it actually presses down. See if I closely see how it presses down that big lever too. So I can press the big lever by itself. I can press that, but we're hitting both. We call that's our double thumb right there because it's hitting 2 things at once. But we're going to put most of our thumb on where the blue part is. And then we have 1, 2, 3. Our pinky hangs out here, and then we should have, our hand should kind of be collapsed onto that black pad right here. Our first finger kind of wraps around touching that black pad. Then on our other hand, we have our thumb right here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, and our pinky. All right, so, as I knock over my chair, it's dangerous here in the band room, everyone. All right, so it's on my right leg. I've got my fingers in the right spot. Beautiful. I put my flute down. I protect it with my hand so it doesn't roll away, because that would make me sad. My flute fell on the floor. I'd cry. So I'm holding it there. And then I'm going to go to pick it up again. Make sure I get my hands in the right place. Double check. You got your thumb on the blue on the back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pinkies are in the right spot. My thumb is here. So double check you can do that. Remember, that's some of your TV practicing. Watch your favorite episode of TV and just practice your flute, picking it up, putting your fingers in the right place. Put it back down. Make sure we can do it. And we want to be able to do it without looking eventually. Because remember, when you play the flute, your fingers are going to be over here. You can't be going and then playing a note. Right, that wouldn't work. You'd also look like a crazy person. So we have to get used to how those fingers go without looking at them. So my flute's on the ground, I can just pick it up. So we want to be able to do that by feel. And doing it on TV shows is fun because you get to watch some TV. Okay, you guys ready to learn some new notes? My blue sticker just came off. It's such a sad day, everyone. Okay, it's back on. Everything's safe. So we're going to learn some new notes, everyone. Because we haven't learned an actual note on our flute yet. It's a very exciting day. So our first 3 notes are right here. And turn this so you guys can see. Hopefully we remember from our flashcards, this note is a B. That's a B. We learned about that. Now your first note you're going to play is a note that's a little bit different than B. It's called B flat. This symbol right here is called a flat sign. So that, it looks kind of like a lowercase b. That's called a flat. That's a flat sign. So this lovely note right here, I'm gonna move these rhythm sheets out of the way. This is called B flat, and that symbol means flat. It's not called BB, it's called B flat. This is A, and this is G. Those are gonna be the first 3 notes we learn, okay? So our B flat, the fingering for B flat uses your thumb, and we call it double thumb because it's hitting mostly the blue key, but it also hits that key, and it's your first finger, and then it's your green pinky. So thumb, first finger, and green pinky. And I'm actually going to write that up here. So I'm going to write TT for double thumb, and then I'm going to write a 1. And then my flute, imagine our flute's going this way, all the way down, so that's where 2 would be, that's where 3 would be, that's where our blue pinky, then we've got 4, 5, 6, and then I'm going to write my pinky down here. I'm going to use that bottom pinky. Can you guys see that? I've got T, T, I've got my first, ooh, I can't draw number 1, how embarrassing for me. A 1, and then I've got my pinky down here. So that's my fingering for my B flat. Before we play it, so we've got thumb, thumb, 1, and I've got this pinky. Okay, that is my B flat. Lovely. My next note is my A, and my A is thumb, thumb again, 1, 2, and then my green pinky. So I had my B flat right there. Watch, here's A. How exciting. B flat, A. B flat, A. So thumb, thumb, first finger, green pinky, that's your B flat. Add your second finger for A. Pretty easy, right? Then my third note is G. I'm gonna do my double thumb again. It's very exciting, guys. 1, 2, 3, and then I got my green pinky at the bottom. Okay? So I've got thumb, thumb, 1, 2, 3, and my green pinky. That's G. So watch. My thumb is staying here, and my pinky is always here for all these notes. So B flat is with your first, A is with your second, 1 and 2. G is 1, 2, and 3. And we have to make sure we press these keys all the way down. If you kind of half close one, it won't close these keys, and then it won't play the right note. So B, A, G. It spells bag. B flat, A, G. B, and we want to make sure we call it B flat because B is actually a totally different note with a different fingering. So it's B flat, A, and G. So what we're going to do is we're literally just going to do these 3 notes in order, and we're going to just do the fingerings first because if we don't have the fingers in the right place, we can't actually play it on our flute. So I'm going to keep my flute with my right leg. I've got my double thumb. I've got my first finger, and I've got my green pinky right here. Okay? Oops, I want to see if I can move this so you can see the notes up there. You still see that? Okay, I'm going to hold this up a little bit higher. Okay, so we've got B, so double thumb, first finger, pinky, there's my B flat, and then I add a finger, that's A, and I add a finger, that's G. So what we're going to try is we're going to start with our B flat. We're actually going to hold our flute out to the side. And at first, if you're having trouble getting a sound, don't stress. It's tricky at first to get used to how this feels. That's why we practice like this first. You might need to go back to practicing this. Make sure you're comfortable with that. All right, so we're going to try. Make sure this is in the right spot, pointing up to the ceiling. I'm not going like this. I'm not going like this. Parallel to the floor. Make sure this is rolled out enough. I've got my double thumb, my first finger, and my pinky. Now, my other fingers, see how I'm holding them up in the air? I'm just doing that so you can see what fingers I have now. When I play my flute, I want them all resting on the keys. I don't want to play like this because, number 1, it looks kind of strange. Number 2, when I move my fingers fast, if they're up here, I have further to travel. All right, double thumb, first finger, and pinky. Here's our B flat. Now, if you're getting a note that sounds like this, that's a lower B flat, which we'll learn. It just means that you need to move your air. Make sure your air is moving a little bit further out. Here's our B flat. Try that. And now we're going to add our A. So we're going to add our second finger. Here's A. Here we go. Try that again. So I've got double thumb, 1, 2, pinky. And then I'm going to add a third finger, G. So I've got double thumb, 1, 2, 3. Make sure you press that third finger all the way down. And our green pinky stays down for all of these. So we've got B flat, A, G. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one note and you're going to imitate. So I'm going to go B flat, then you play B flat. And then I'm going to go A, you play A, and then I'll play G, and you play G. So we're going to do a little bit of I play, you play. All right, here we go. 1, 2, and I'm starting on B flat. Your turn. Add a finger for A. Your turn. I'll add a finger for G. There we go. Very nice. Now, on the second page of Head Joint Happiness, you have something called warm up. Now, we will eventually get to this. We're not getting to it today. But if you feel comfortable with your B flat, A, and G, guess what? B flat, those are all B flats. Those are all A's. Those are all G's. So if I play the first line, I'm playing a whole note, then 2 half notes, 4 quarter notes, and then a whole note. So it sounds like recommendation when you're working on this, just get really good at one of the notes first before you move on to the second one. So B flat, A, and G. And so remember, here are your fingerings. So if you need to pause this video, you can even take a screenshot of it. Okay? And if we want to think about our flute, so remember, these are our green. I'm going to write green right here. Those are your green pinkies. And your double thumb, that's on the back side. First finger, first and second, 1, 2, 3. So all the notes have the double thumbs and all have the green pinky. Okay, so that gives you a chance to practice that, and if you can work just on this, or if you want to get really fancy, you can go into this lovely warm-up and start doing that. All right, flutes, now the next part of our video has to do with our Flipgrid. So your Flipgrid is called the perfect measure, and in the perfect measure, you're literally playing one measure, and you're going to be doing it just on your head joint, because we want to make sure we've got that head joint sound going first before we worry and stress about our flute too much. So for your video, I'll move this out of the way. You're going to make sure that your camera is set up so I can see both you, your foot, and your flute, or your head joint, because that's what we're going to be using. So you're going to have to move your camera back, or you might have someone hold it, but I need to be able to see your good posture. You should be sitting on the edge of a chair, not on the floor, not on your bed, edge of your seat, sitting up nice and straight. I should be able to see your foot tapping. Okay, so I see your foot tapping. And what you're going to literally be doing is on your head joint, you're going to hold it here and make sure we bring this on the back side. This will be in the right place. And then you're going to play a note for 4 entire beats. So it's going to be da and stop. We're starting that note with our tongue. So here's how it's going to work. Let me grab my tuner. Hopefully you guys can hear it from there. Okay, so I got my tuner on. It's set to 80. Now this is my little tuner. You guys will use the tuner that's bookmarked on your iPads. So you'll have that going in your video. And you're going to do a count-off that's a little bit different, because when we play our flutes, we need enough time to breathe. And if we're going down, up, ready, set, and go, we don't have a whole lot of time to breathe. So we're going to change it. It's going to be down, up, ready, set. And after the word set, we're going to breathe in right here. You should feel a lot of cold air. And we shouldn't hear that breath. It should be pretty quiet. If it's like that, that means we barely get any air in our lungs. It's like, so we shouldn't really hear it. So I'm going to do that one more time for you guys. Okay? So my foot's tapping. I don't care which foot you tap. Either one's fine, as long as I can see it. Down, up, ready, set. And that's where we're going to take a breath, okay, with your flute in place. So let's try this together. Here we go. Say the count up with me, then take your breath. Down, up, ready, set. Do it again. You should feel a cold air rush in. Say the count up with me. Here we go. Down, up, ready, set. Do it one more time, and here we go. Down, up, ready, set. Remember, you can rewind this. Again, sometimes the count off is the tricky thing for us. Down, up, ready, set. And that's where we bring in that air, because your flute is fueled by air. If you don't have enough air in, then you can't make a sound out. Okay, so, and then you're just going to be playing your head joint for 4 beats. So here's what it'll look like. Just watch. Don't do it along with me. Down, up, ready, set. Watch again. Down, up, ready, set. Okay, so that's how it works. Now, you're not going to be doing this in your video. You're going to be holding your flute. So your Flipgrid, the things we're looking for is, number one, we can see all of you, including your feet. Okay, so we want to see your foot tapping. Your metronome should be on. We should be able to hear it. It should be set to 80. You're going to have this in place. You're going to say your count off, down, well, your foot taps, down, up, ready, set. And then you're going to play your head joint for 4 beats. Now remember, you can do this as many times as you need to before you submit your video. And so there's no reason to submit a video where we don't have our foot tapping or we don't have our metronome on or our cameras on. We have you can do it as many times as you want to make sure you get it right, okay? So here's what my Flipgrid would be, right? I'm going to get off my imaginary stage. Da-da-da-da. All right, I'm ready to make my Flipgrid. I've practiced it a bunch of times. I got my camera set far away. All right, here's my perfect measure. Make sure my feet are in the video. This is in the right spot. Down, up, ready, set. And that's your video. You're playing that head joint for 4 beats. Now, we want to make sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. Not 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. Awesome. So flutes, that is your perfect measure video, and you learned, I'm going to put this back on the camera, B flat, A, and G. And remember, get used to what the fingerings are without having it over here. Put it on your leg. You can even do some TV practice with that, and then we can put it up and play it. So we want to get those fingers down really solid before we put it up to our face, because we have 2 things that are challenging. It makes it harder. So get one down, and then we'll bring it up. Awesome. Happy practicing, flute players. Bye.